morning. Let's play a bit of farming sim. Hey Dylan? Is the microphone picking up fan noise today? Because that was annoying. Because I don't have any fan going today. I'm wondering if the microphone's going on me. Wonder if the microphone's going on me. Picking up static it shouldn't be picking up. Yeah, the PC fan's going. Yeah, you're right there. Yeah, I could be picking that up, but why is it picking up now and it never has picked it up before? Or was it always there? Oh, oh, I know. We boosted the microphone. Yep, we boosted the microphone. That's why it's picking up more static. I recall. I guess nothing's going to open while this is loading. Now my fans, everything there is clear. It's just that we changed the settings in here. I forgot we did that. Go. How did we do that again? Shoot, where's those? Where are those settings? Whoa. What's up with all that? Microphone. Yeah, we boosted that. And apply. And that should clear away the static, but then it'll be quieter too. Oh, grass is ready to be cut. But I think if I turn the volume up of the game in my ear, I might talk louder and it won't be an issue. What's the other issue I have? I won't be able to hear you. I was just about said what? Hey Trev. You know what we should look at? Is prices. Don't remember what prices we were at, and do we want to sell any of our crop in storage? Let's quickly do that. Wrong button. Prices. Soybean. Just not a great price, no. And then we have corn. Because soybean, the best price I've seen is $1,000 per 1,000 liters. So, in theory, we should be able to get over $4,000 out of that. Corn. It's kind of middle of the road price. See if it comes up a bit. A little closer to 400, but... Well, I've seen it down really low too. 368. Because it's not a bad price actually. Because the highest I've seen is 440. $368. Let's go around the field a couple times and see if the price is going up or down or staying the same. Whoop. Both hands on the steering wheel. Hey, Lucky. Yes, I did look at the picture you shared with me yesterday on Bookface of the Western Star. Having the same interior of that truck. Well, that truck had the same interior as the Western Star day cab that I drove. One thing I noticed about Western Stars is they rust really easily. And we're in a dry place. I imagine how much they rust in a wet place. Because of the red dirt? Things rust because of the red dirt? I'm guessing the dirt is it's so acidic that it makes things rust. Interesting. I did not know that about Australia. Which I guess is why nothing really grows on that dirt either. Or a lot less grows on that dirt. Things grow harder on that dirt. I guess certain types of crops would do good, but it reminds me. Okay, so when the water or when the dirt gets wet, it's very sticky dirt. It sticks to the vehicle, which also means it holds the moisture onto the vehicle, so the moisture stays on the vehicle, creating rust there as well. So, yep. I know sticky clay dirt makes things rust a lot quicker too because it keeps moisture against the paint job. guess Rensme, you haven't been listening. I'm on vacation this week. No driving truck this week. Looks like Farmer Joe's made me some tea. Hi, thanks. Hang on, I'm gonna drink some of this tea. Like a sunburn that never goes away. Yeah, I remember when we were in Mexico many years ago, we drove through this red clay ground with a white car, and it never washed off. That car, for the rest of its life, had this red tinge to it. Oh yeah, I can see why you would think that I was on the highway, because I'm still releasing truck videos. But that all happened 2 weeks ago. Speaking of, I really have to edit the videos I shot last week, or else you guys will have no videos to watch next week. But I've been lazy. I'm on vacation. I don't feel like editing video. So I'll have to start doing that today. Do 2 or 3 videos. Because you guys are getting a bonus video on Sunday. You've been washing for 5 years and the red dirt never goes away, yeah? There we go. Oh. Alright. Where did I leave that tractor? Back here. phone is binging, which means Lucky is sending me pictures again. Oh, also getting email. Oh, there's no manure in here. Let's see how the silage is doing here. 53%, darn, can't do any of that yet. Okay, I'll get back to cultivating. You can't cut grass. You want to cut grass? Sure. Just you can start seeding. Um, you could seed. I could take the Massey Ferguson tractor that I hate so much and finish cultivating. If you want to cut grass before it gets dark. Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. I'll switch tractors. And then once you've cut the grass, we'll have to switch tractors again. Because I want to keep all that grass for silage. Which means we have to dump the grass near the silage pit, I think. I'll do one round just for the sake of cutting grass. You might want to move or else I'll chop your feet down. I like mixing it up. Doing different things. There she goes. I love how the grass looks now. This is awesome. Yeah, we have to fix the grass there, but I can't fix it until we own that part of the land. Okay, I'll let you take over. I just wanted to cut grass a little bit. Okay, so let's see here. Rensme, you've had a little crazy last couple of days, and I see the pictures here. Yeah, it looks like that Mac needs a new engine, huh? But yeah, I see how red the paint job stays. Oh yeah, I was gonna grab the Massey Ferguson that I dislike with a passion. All right. This is a bigger tractor physically, but it doesn't have a lot more horsepower than the other little tractor. Because we put a huge horsepower in that German tractor. I think it's like an aftermarket engine in that. Getting dark enough in the shadow here that I'm thinking of turning on my lights. Did I get it? I got it. Okay. Oh, maybe I left. Dirt texture wasn't quite the same. Okay, shall we look at prices again? Always do that, wrong button. So, we were looking at corn, 368 still, hasn't changed. Just sitting there. Do we sell it? Maybe I'll sit on it longer. Like, it's a good price. If it goes down, I'd hate for it to go down. And sell at a lower price. But what if it goes up? What gamble do we play there? I never thought of that, Lucky. When you're driving along the road with that red sand and it gets through the air filter, it's like sandblasting the whole interior of the engine. Just grinding away the interior of the engine, so they actually put extra socks over the air filter. Huh. See, I'm learning new stuff. Makes sense. So they're weather socks made out of cheap wool. I'm sure not cheap wood, but cheap wool. It'd be pretty funny if I read every comment as written. Cheap wool is probably a very fine fabric that you can make out of it, so it keeps that red dust out. Probably makes you use a little more fuel too, because the engine is having a hard time getting the air it needs. Probably not a big difference, but there's probably a little bit of a difference. I could be wrong, but your cat is angry at you. Oh boy. Oh, okay. So when you put the filter over it, you get more black smoke. Okay. Yep, that makes sense. Burning more coal. Alright, let's run that New Holland tractor. It is time. We'll do one round, that way this tractor is very near the New Holland. Won't be a full round. Yeah, I guess the turbo has to do a lot of extra work when it's trying to suck more air through a thicker filter. It reminds me, I like cats, but cats are evil. Cats are always the boss. They'll tell you what they want. My brother and sister-in-law have 2.5 cats. One cat comes over every now and then and says hi. So I'd say they have 2 cats plus a neighbor's cat that comes over that they take care of and feed and comes inside every now and then. Okay, New Holland. Getting a bunch of emails from work. Safety team. Oh, I hear someone cutting grass. Where? Oh, right over there. I just turning around on the end must have been. Okay. Cedar. What way is it? Okay, we want it to go the other way. Yep, that's what I want set up. What am I planting? Debating canola or oat. Let's see which price goes the highest. Soybean price honestly goes the highest. Should I do soybean? I can do more soybean. Why not? Let's do a little more soybean. Oops, just skipped over it. Soybean. We can plant something else on a different field. We'll do soybean on this. So you're building your bike so your cat can come with you. Okay, let's adjust that line just like that. Use GPS. No, I'm planting soybean. I could seed barley on the other field over there. I could, well, I can seed any, yeah, we'll seed something else on the other field there, but you did make me do a double take. I'm like, what? It would have been okay if I was planting barley though. Because we rarely plant wheat or barley. Because there's not a lot of, there's not as much money in wheat and barley. The best money is in canola and soybean. But just because of that doesn't mean that's all I want to plant. What am I going to do here? You know, Renzi, you know what you should start doing? You should start doing a vlog or of you building the bike. Because you haven't started building it yet. Start a vlog of you getting all the parts together. Once a week. Post a video of the progress you've made that week on the bike. If it is just drawing design pictures or ordering parts or any little thing, once a week post a video of things that you've changed there that week to get to your final goal. Because it's obviously a topic you're really interested in, because you're always talking about it, which is cool. So why not make videos of that process? I don't know, just a suggestion. Farmer Joe ran into the problem that I found quite annoying as well with that silage bunker. Is that you got to be careful with these tires because they go flying. this side would be the same problem here. Hard to see where the tires are. Is it gonna sit up there? If you're careful, you might be okay to get by these on this side now. Oh. There's tires way out here. See a shadow. I'm like, where's the other tire? Stack them on top of each other. The tires are meant to toss on top of the... Those tires have an interesting bug in there. Check out the tire. I'm looking right through the tire, no problem. And what? What? They're gateways to another universe. If you jump through them, and every tire does that. Let's see if I can flip it over. If I flip it back again, now we can see through it again. Bit of a weird bug. Ethan, of course you can join. But are you on a console? PlayStation 4, most likely? Or are you actually playing on PC like we are? That's the problem, so in that case you can't join. You're on the console. And that's something that's a programming problem that I wish they would solve. I think they would sell more games if they said that you can play with someone on a PlayStation, Xbox, or a computer as long as you have the same mods installed. And if you'll notice that my textures are very different than your textures. You don't really notice the difference unless you put them up side by side. When I plant, the ground texture looks very different than yours will on PlayStation, because on the computer, well, you can mess around with stuff on the computer. What's that? You have a question for me? Hmm? No, it's one big silage pit. You might be able to dump it in there. I don't know what would happen if we did that. Yeah, we need more than one silage pit. Yes. But I think for now we'll just dump it on the side, just in case it'll mess it up. Let's drive the old Fergie. Oh, there's a tiny little bit of manure. We need more manure. The vineyard needs more natural fertilizer. And Jess will say, buy more cows. I say we just dump all the grass right over here in a pile. The grass you're cutting right now. Dump all the grass in a pile here. We'll use a little Fergie to move it all over, which will be a pain. But that way we'll have more silage. Because 96% done. A few hours from now it'll be dark, and then we'll sleep overnight, and it should be done by the morning. And then we'll work on all that. Turn the GPS back on. What are yum yums? Making, I know the candy yum yum, but how are you making yum yums? Oh, not as in a particular type of food. You're just making some food. You're making food. Got it. Here, can the tractor drive over this rock? Like, it's a bigger tractor. It's a bit rough, a bit rough. Maybe I don't want to do that, but... the other tractors I wouldn't even think of driving over, but this is a bigger tractor. I'm like, maybe it'll go over. Oh, I'm out of soybean. Oh, looks like she's done cutting grass. Yeah, I like those sound effects. I hear the crows and I also hear wings flapping. Oh, is that why my phone was binging away again? More pictures? My phone's been busy. Once I'm done this stream, I'm going to have a lot to catch up with. Not that I'm going to catch up with it right away, though. I think as soon as I'm done this stream, I'm going to head out to my brother's place and we're going to change some tires on the quad. Take the tracks off and put the tires on it. I didn't use those tracks a lot, but I think it was still worth switching back and forth. We would have used it a lot more if it hadn't been for COVID. Because I don't really like using, I mean, it makes some beautiful photos using the tracks in the winter. But it's not, it's fun, but it's, you have to get so dressed up warm and all that stuff. But in spring, when the weather gets warm, but there's still lots of snow out, the tracks come in super, super handy. make that headland a little bigger. Controller, what are you doing? Reminds me, you take your bike out on sandy surfaces or snowy surfaces a lot? Was that a dumb question? Have you ever ridden a bike with fat tires? Because a bike with fat tires uses a lot more energy to move. If it's you pedaling harder or the electric engine working harder, fat tires have a lot more friction. For the bike you're building, you'd be best off putting the narrowest tires you can find that can still hold the weight you're planning on hauling. Hang on, you want to go off-road a lot? To go across Canada off-road a lot? Okay, that's Manitoba thinking. In Manitoba you can do that. Saskatchewan you can do that. Most of Alberta you can do that. The rest of Canada, there is nowhere to go off-road. Because it's just my opinion, but my opinion would be, if I was biking across Canada, I would set the bike to be the narrowest tires I could find, hardest, the highest air pressure I could put into those tires, no suspension at all, solid suspension, because energy is the enemy. If it's manpower or electric power or gas power, energy is the enemy. So you want the least resistant, lightest load possible. Because everything will come down to energy. So every single thing you bring with you will have to be weighed against energy. If I bring this extra sleeping bag in my trailer I'm living in, how much weight is that going to add? How much more energy is that going to add to continuing the trip? Oh, I'm empty again? Yeah, but you go off-road a lot in Manitoba. You're not going to go off-road a lot when you get to Ontario East. You're not going to go off-road a lot. There's not many opportunities to go off-road. When you get to Alberta and you hit the mountains, you're not going off-road. So if you're building a bike to ride in the prairies, absolutely. You got to build it to go ride in trails and ditches and dirt roads and 100%. But I've driven across Canada. That only works in Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta. Yeah, building a bike for a Pacific area versus a bike that's universal, it would be very different, I think. Because the bikes I see on the highway, they're not like your bike. They're not the big bikes going across. But all the bikes I see, I've seen trikes on them. Like they've built a bigger bike with it, like a trike, with a little trailer behind it, going cross country. And even those had those narrow racing wheels on them. Like those high-end marathon racing wheel, Tour de France racing wheels on them. Super narrow, aerodynamic. I'm not sure if you're building a suspension into that bike and bike trailer, but if you do, you want that suspension very hard. Because my friend learned that from personal experience. He did a bike marathon with a bike that had a suspension in it. Bad mistake. He was so far behind everybody else because so much of the energy he was putting into those pedals was going into the suspension travel instead of into the tires moving forward. Suspension eats up energy. I haven't looked, but I bet you if you looked for biking vlogs, long distance biking vlogs, I guess most of them would be just two-wheeled bikes. But I wonder if there's somebody that's gone across Canada. I bet there is. There's somebody going across Canada with a bigger bike. Maybe not as big as what you're building where you're going to be living in the trailer, but somebody must have done a trip that's bigger than just two-wheeled across Canada. Because I bet you would learn a lot by reading a vlog like that. Things you don't think about until you're on the road, and see if you can learn from other people. Even a normal just two-wheeled bike going across Canada, you might still learn something from that, doing research that way. Because the more knowledge you have about what you're going to be doing, the better prepared you will be for anything going wrong. What was that? That's... Here, let's go to YouTube. Search. This is not biking, but I remember watching these guys go across Canada. K-I? K-E? There it is. They took horses across Canada. And they took the horses across Canada. Even watching their videos, I bet you would learn stuff going from 0 all the way up. Because it would give you an idea of the landscape you'd be traveling through, even though you're taking bike. And they're doing a lot more off-roading because, well, they're four-wheel drive horses, they can go off-roading more than a bike would be able to. But I bet you would gain some experience or gain some knowledge by watching these guys. And I bet there's stuff like this for bikes. Pause it on that and take a look at that if you want. Hey Evie. Because if you've never been across the country, you just don't know. Like the first time we drove, well, we've only driven coast to coast once, driven all the way across Canada. You really just don't know because different provinces are like completely different countries. Like when we got to Newfoundland, it was like, whoa. We had no idea that middle of July felt like winter. It was just little things. It's like we didn't pack enough warm clothes for Newfoundland. You have a lot of travel experience on two-wheel bike in Manitoba, which is the kicker right there. Because you've been in Morden, that hill to come up out of Morden used to be a big hill for me. I was like, oh, big little climb over here. I don't even notice it. It's like a speed bump now for me. The perception you have living in the prairies, because I lived in the prairies for a long, long time, so I know. Perception of what a hill is, what a mountain is so different once you live somewhere else. Even when we first time driving over the mountains, Rogers Pass, going over the mountain, we had trouble breathing. Such a high elevation, all of a sudden it's like, oh, my Flatlander lungs can't handle this elevation, right? So I don't know. I definitely admire the challenge you've put in front of you, but it certainly is a big challenge you've got. Yeah, it's definitely a learning curve, which is cool. That's what you've set in front of you. You've set a huge goal in front of yourself. Basically, while you're building the bike, while you're planning on building the bike, you've also got to be spending the whole time researching as well. Learn as much as you can by watching videos and reading, and because it'll be a heck of an awesome challenge. Are you having problems? You need a hand? I'm coming over. Let me get some tires out of the way. Just the one tire? Oh, you didn't cut over here. Okay, cool. It looked a bit narrow to me. I'm like, I wonder if you could cut in here, but yeah, probably a better call not to. That's not the button I wanted to hit. 59%. What were we looking at? Canola, not canola, corn prices. They haven't changed. So I guess that's a good thing. But I think I'll sell corn if it remains the same price it is. Once it gets dark, I'll sell corn. Or how long have we been streaming? Hour and a half. I was only going to stream for an hour. At this point, I guess we might as well go for another half hour and then eat some food and then go do the stuff I said I wanted to do before lunch. What's that? You have no appropriate comment? You're funny. I don't know. Is the Rockies the worst challenge? I think Ontario and Newfoundland are a huge challenge as well. Ontario, you're going to be going through elevation changes, not like the Rockies, but you're going to be eaten by mosquitoes. Yeah, northern Ontario. You're going to be in the middle of nowhere, no support. It is more desolate than driving over the Canadian Rockies. Roads are very narrow, no ditches, and if you watch the kicking horse videos, you'll realize that truckers don't give you a break either. They'll almost run you over. I think Ontario is a big challenge for you. And if you decide to go over the ferry to Newfoundland, Newfoundland itself will be a big challenge as well. Well worth it. Yep, if you're going all the way to Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, you might as well go to Newfoundland right away too. It is just such a beautiful experience. Same if you go all the way to the west coast. If you get all the way to Vancouver, you would regret not going all the way to Nanaimo. Nanaimo and then cross Nanaimo. Not Nanaimo, but cross over the ferry from Vancouver to Nanaimo, and then head over to Tofino. There we go. You'd regret not doing that, going all the way. Visiting Victoria. The two islands on the both ends of the country are well worth the visit, even though they add cost. Yeah, your bike would have a unique challenge ferry crossings. They would have to count it as some kind of vehicle. You'd have to pay money for that, but wouldn't be a problem. I'm not sure what they would charge you for crossing over the ferry. But it wouldn't be a problem. It would just be money. They wouldn't have a problem letting you go across the ferry. No, that would be easy peasy. I just don't know how much they would charge you for it. What's that? Oh, you want this tractor. Got it. I think that's what you meant you wanted this tractor. You're feeling hot? I'm surprised I left the window open all night long. The fan stayed on all night too? Huh. Definitely starting to feel like summer. What's that? I'm happy with this tractor. You're enjoy or hating the Massey Ferguson? You don't hate it yet? I'm not quite sure what the last comment meant. I don't know what drumham main means. I don't know. They're talking about driving around in our area here. Planning on driving around in your area. Need to go as Drumham Main, which I don't follow. What's that? No, have not seen Iron Thunder show up today. You're saying there's plenty of driving around in Halifax, not, and you don't have to take the ferry. But if you're only going that way in the once in your lifetime, the experience we gain driving through Newfoundland is an experience we can't gain anywhere else. It's kind of your choice, but if you're only driving that way once, if you plan on returning and exploring Newfoundland in the future, but it's a province that is well worth. If you, I know we were debating the same thing. It's like we're driving across Canada. It's going to be very expensive getting to Newfoundland, and we finally made the choice of we're driving all of that distance. Let's go spend the money, go do it, and it is the most memorable part of the trip. Of course, Fredericton and Nova Scotia and New Brunswick have a lot to experience too. And then the tides. Whew, tides are beautiful too. There's so much to do there too. But Newfoundland is definitely a highlight of all those things. PEI was a great experience too. It's free to drive onto PEI. It will cost you to get back off. Not a lot of money. It was cheap compared to the ferry to Newfoundland. Alright guys, I think I'm going to call it. A lot of things planned here while the weather's still good. I see the clouds way in the background looking pretty mean, so I should focus on getting that stuff done before the clouds get meaner. This time of year it seems like the weather's always beautiful in the morning, although it's cold in the morning, and then as it warms up at noon, before the weather turns cloudy and rainy, is the best time to go do stuff outside. Alright. I'll bail out over here. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for the conversation. Oh, I see Eevee has Grand Theft Auto as their icon. Squirrel, I know. It was fun doing another stream in the morning, even though I didn't intend it to be this long, but it was fun. So, adios. See you guys next time.